You are cordially invited to the country estate of Alistair Rhodes. Join us for an unforgettable evening.
What in Lucifer's ball sack was that?
Where the hell did everyone go? Just better be a joke, Alistair, or this is the worst party I've ever been invited to.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Outside, the series, of course, we're going outside zombies maps, such as Dead of the Night, which we're going to do today.
No, this can't be happening.
I am real excited to see what's going on outside the map here of Dead of the Night, and if you are too, then leave a like down below, helps me out a ton, and of course, make sure you're subscribed so you can come back for more, but let's get right into it. So, of course, being a massive mansion, there is a ton of interior space on this map and a lot of windows, and many of them are extremely interesting. So we will get to them all, but before we do, I think it's best to start with the hidden secrets underneath the map, because there is some, mind-blowing stuff down there. So, first of all, there are some random things just floating about, such as this red rectangle, which I don't exactly know why it's here, but it could be Easter egg related, although it also could just be left over from development. And same thing with this, little green paw print here that is just right under the staircase that goes to the cellar. I'm assuming this one is Easter egg related, unlike that red rectangle, although it could just be here for no reason. But let's get to the really interesting stuff. So first of all, we can see below us right now are the teleporter boxes. There are 4 of them, one right here below me, and then 3 more stretching out this way. And I know they're teleporter boxes because there are 4 of them, one for each player on the map. While to the right here, there's another one right here, which kind of looks like a teleporter box. It's really just a big black rectangle. And there's also another one over here, just kind of floating above the normal teleporter boxes below me. This one to the right is completely empty. It's literally just black when you go inside of it. This is what you look at. There's nothing in here. While this other one that's floating above the teleporter boxes, well, it's the portal to hell, which I had to look this up because I have never played Dead of the Night before. Probably should have said that in the intro, but yeah, never played this map. In fact, I've barely played Black Ops 4 in general, but this is the portal that you go through in the Easter egg that takes you down into hell, and then you spawn up as a ghost in the map. Then you gotta do some Easter egg steps. I don't exactly know it all, and it's really cool, man. There's a lot of detail to this thing, which you only get to see it for a few seconds normally. So it is really awesome to just be able to fly through here and see exactly how it was created. My guess is this other box right here, which is completely dark inside, is probably associated with that Easter egg step as well somehow, but I have absolutely no clue how. So let me know down in the comment section if you got an idea. But there is way more hiding underneath the map. If we go underneath these teleporter boxes, we'll find a big old slab here that we actually have collision with. We can walk on this. And not only that, but it looks like there's a window location here, as well as a random little room over here to the right. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is doing here, but it really looks like the developers were testing stuff. Although things like window locations aren't new. I mean, this has been a thing in zombies forever, so it's surely not testing that. However, maybe something else? I really don't know. It's extremely strange that this is here. There has been no other map whatsoever that I have seen so far going outside, and I have gone outside a lot of them so far, that has had anything like this underneath the map. This is like a little test arena. So I'm really not sure if this was going to be part of the map in some kind of way, such as as the boss fight arena, or maybe a side Easter egg that made you do a one-window challenge, because that would be awesome. And perhaps it just got scrapped, or maybe we still haven't found it. I did not find anything on the internet about this, so let me know down in the comment section if you guys know anything, but oh my god, is this awesome, man. There's even a grass texture over here, which just kind of extends all the way and then just cuts off at the back here. And as far as this window location goes, it doesn't seem like I can board it up or anything like that. The room just kind of cuts off, but this rectangle does continue further, although there's nothing inside of it. So yeah, really strange little area that I wish I had more answers for, but unfortunately I don't. We'll just have to leave it as a mystery for now. But one thing I do know for certain is this area is not related to the boss fight arena. The boss fight arena itself is actually way over here, which I'll show you right now. Okay, actually, it's kind of hard to find. Where did it go? Oh, there's a ghost. Yeah, I did not know this was here ahead of time. Accidentally just found this, but there's definitely what looks to be some sort of ghost right here outside the map. I'm assuming this is Easter egg related. I mean, it's surely like almost 100% it's Easter egg related. Pretty awesome to see that it's just chilling out here underneath the map. And just for some perspective, this ghost is right behind the cemetery section of the map. So I'm assuming that the Easter egg step probably takes place here. I mean, it would kind of make sense considering it's a ghost. But yeah, boss fight arena, that's what I was getting to. It's over here. If we travel through a whole bunch of rays outside the map, we can finally arrive at what is most certainly the boss fight arena, which unfortunately most of it isn't really loaded in while you're here ahead of time. Obviously, you're supposed to hit some triggers doing the actual Easter egg, and those triggers would of course load the map, but here ahead of time, it's pretty empty, although it is really cool to see some of this from a different angle. I mean, I've never played the map, I've never done the Easter egg, but it's awesome for me. So I'm sure those who really liked Dead of the Night will probably love this as well. And just for a little bit of perspective, there is the boss fight arena, and if I turn to the left, we can see here is the map. So I guess it's just up over the forest past the greenhouse here. And I'm sure you're thinking now, okay, surely that is it, right? There's nothing else hidden outside the map other than that. We've covered the boss fight arena, we've covered the teleporter boxes, we've even covered some random stuff found from the Easter egg. But if I go over to the front of the building and we turn around, this is what it looks like. There's no grand staircase here, there's no driveway with cars, all of that stuff that we see in the intro cutscene isn't here on the map. So where is it? If we go high enough above the map, we get out of the normal volume that renders lighting and things like that on the map. And because of this, we get to see a much better perspective of the map itself, and if we turn around, we can start to see some stuff loading in here behind me. To the right, we can definitely see some trees, and to the left, well, take a look at that. If we get closer and closer, sure enough, this definitely looks like the building that we play in. Or at least parts of the building that we play in. Obviously, it's not all here. But surely, this is 100% where the intro cutscene takes place. You can even see where the driveway would have been leading up to the staircase right here. And not only that, we actually have collision here. We can walk up to the front of the building. It doesn't seem like there's a way for me to walk into the actual building itself, unfortunately. And if I use a little bit of no-clip, get past those barriers, we can see we do actually have collision in here, and it seems like there's walls. Like, I don't know where I am. Unfortunately, everything is invisible, but it feels like I'm in a hallway and I'm walking against the wall. But most of this building does not have anything inside of it. There's like one room that's used for the intro cutscene right here, and then that's about it. Although it seems like I'm walking in some kind of room right now. And I've just been dropping myself in random locations to see if there's collision, and there is, like, right here for some reason. Not exactly sure what I'm landing on, but kind of cool to see. It might just be the rooftop, actually. Which, actually, yeah, now that I'm noticing, it seems like the entire rooftop has collision as well. We can just walk on top of all of this. You know, looking at the front of this building, it really does feel like it was originally going to be part of the main map here, but for some reason, they decided it would just be better to put it off into the void. And if we leave that volume that renders lighting, we can see that some of the shrubbery does extend actually pretty far out here into the distance. However, let's go check out this forest over here, which I'm assuming is part of the ending cutscene, although I actually haven't seen it for this map, so I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know. As we make our way through the light here, we can find ourselves a forest which really seems to be like glowing. So the effects we're seeing right now, I believe, are because these textures are not being refreshed. We're not supposed to be here, obviously, but there is what looks like a huge forest here, or at least somewhat huge. I mean, it's very linear, actually. So it seems to start all the way over here, and then if we just take a fly through it, there is a straight path through the woods all the way down towards this direction, and then it takes a right, which, yeah, that right turn, I guess, is right here. And when we go to the right, it's not really a path anymore, but just a whole bunch more trees and shrubbery, and it just eventually ends with a bunch of 2D textures. But oh my god, is that trippy. Look at those trees, man. Alright, that is it for hidden things under the map. There is tons of other things to check out in this building. There's even some hidden rooms and some really cool window locations. But before we get to that, I'm taking a sip of the coffee. Because of course, I have my coffee with me here this morning. I hope wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this, you're enjoying yourself, because Oh my god, am I.
I don't mind the stabbing. It's the squishiness that gets me.
I've stated this many times before, I am not a fan of Black Ops 4 Zombies, but every time I do one of these outside episodes, it really makes me wish I gave some of these maps a shot. Although, playspace-wise, it is very cramped in here. But there's so much good stuff with this storyline as well. Like, the more I learn about the Chaos story, the more I start to like it. Obviously, it certainly did not replace Ether and was not nearly well received as, you know, Richtofen the Crazy Doctor was. This is a really cool map, and I can't wait to explore more of it, so let's get to it. Oh yeah, and while you're at it, if you'd like to leave a like down below, it helps me out so much, and of course, subscribe so you can come back for more. So continuing into this area here, there are some window locations right here on my right. If I just go ahead and hop on out, we can see the zombies just spawn right around the corner in this little room right here. It's a really cool little space that just overlooks this playable area down below. And continuing past that, we got another window location right here, although this one isn't quite as interesting. Zombies just spawn right here around the corner, and yeah, there's not much going on in here. How you doing, ma'am? Do you need help with something? Don't do drugs, kid. You'll end up like her. If we go through this door right here, we're immediately met with another window in front of us, and this one does look a lot cooler. There's a whole bunch of busts in here, and it does connect as well to this window location on the other side. And at the back, this is just where the zombies spawn. There's a very thin little hallway. They spawn here around the corner, and then they can come out towards one of the windows. Which I think there's some zombie spawn engineering going on, because it looks like there's only one spawn location for zombies, so I'm guessing they get the choice of whether they want to go to the left here, or if they want to travel all the way over to this window. And, you know, I thought there was something suspicious about this bookcase, and I didn't know this was here. Again, haven't played the map. But if I use a little bit of no-clip and go past this bookshelf, we can see there is most certainly a hidden room here, which has a little elephant in it. How nice. I'm not sure what you have to do to normally get here. I'm assuming there's a little bit of an Easter egg step, but inside there's a bunch of things just scattered along the ground, and there is a gramophone here, which really makes me have some Origins vibes, man. Although, oh my god, look at that hole. Wow. And as we walk down the west balcony, past a window location we've already checked out, we enter the smoking room, which itself has two windows right here. If we hop on into the one in the back, it seems like there's like a glowing light just flashing on this little box right here. Gives some very ominous vibes, but around the corner, it's just a little area for zombies to spawn, and there's not much else. And as far as this other window location, well, the same can be said. It's literally just a little dark hallway. But I just kind of want to point this out. So here's the room that we were just in, right? This is the smoking room. And if we go ahead and go on outside of it and look over here, there's some gold just chilling here in some bags. I'm assuming this is, again, part of an Easter egg step at some point, but I just found it, so I figured I'd point it out as well. Kind of cool to see that it's just stored outside the map. Again, for like the 100th time, and there'll be so much more in this video. Let me know what this is. But moving on from that smoking room, we enter the grand staircase. And of course, this is where the artifact is. There are two window locations here at the back, which are pretty much identical. They look a lot like some other ones as well that we checked out. Just a little location for zombies to spawn right here, and all the way over here, again, pretty much the exact same thing. Although this one does actually have a little bit more going on here in the corner, but yeah, not much. But starting back on the other side of the spawn, if we were to spawn here instead, we'd be met with this window, which, just like the other side over there, is another little balcony here with a room attached to it where zombies spawn in the corner. Although there's a little bit more to this one because it does connect to this window location in, what is this, master bedroom?
Something tells me this place has seen less action than a church on a Tuesday morning.
And yeah, because of that, there is some modeling here resembling a bathroom, it looks, for this master bedroom. But yeah, pretty cool to see that it actually connects to this little room right here, and I'm assuming this room is most likely used to spawn zombies for both this window on the balcony as well as the one in the master bedroom. But continuing on past that master bedroom, we will check it out soon enough. There is another window right here, which probably does connect all the way through, and it looks like it does connect to that master bedroom as well. This is a really cool little window location. It seems like there's a couple beds here, as well as some other modeling, such as this bookcase, and if we look at this one in the corner, well, there's a human skull here. Very Mob of the Dead-esque. Oh, and it looks like one of the band members actually lived here. Real unfortunate for them, huh? But alright, through the door onto the east balcony, we're immediately met with another window location. Let's hop on into it. So to the left, there is this separate little hallway, which I'm assuming is used to spawn zombies right here in the middle, and they can decide to go to the right here towards this window, or to the left instead towards this one. And in the middle, we are separated by a barrier here, so they don't cross between, but there are a lot of really cool models here in the middle, as well as this under the desk, which looks very Egyptian. Maybe hinting at Ancient Evil being the next map? I don't know. Oh, yeah, and more skulls here as well. Strange. But before moving on, there is another bookshelf right here, and it does seem that if we no-clip into it, there is another hidden room here as well. There's a gramophone in here, a glove, as well as what looks like a tuning fork, I think, and a painting, which has definitely seen better days. Yeah, another really cool little space, which I'm assuming gives you something if you do it on the Easter egg. I have no idea what this is. So again, let me know down below. I would love to find out. But continuing onward, down the balcony and into, what is this room? The music room. Oh, cool. Inside of this music room, very much alike the smoking room, actually. There's two windows here which look very similar, although they do actually connect to each other, which is kind of cool. A lot of times on these modern maps, they'll separate two window locations like this. Like, I know Voyage of Despair did this a lot, so it's really cool to see that that's not the case here. There's this hallway that just goes between them, and obviously zombies probably spawn somewhere here in the middle and go to either one of the windows. And of course, going past the music room brings us again to the grand staircase where that artifact is. So I think it's time that we just pick it up at this point. I'm not entirely sure what this will change for the map, but I did it. Oh god, okay, it definitely broke some stuff. Well, turning around from that, we are immediately met with the entrance hall here. And it does have a couple of window locations on each side. If we hop on into this one, we can see there's not much going on. And the same could be said as well with this one. They're actually pretty much identical, just a little bit different in shape. I think the cool thing to check out is actually behind this perk, although there's not a lot. There is this little offshoot room right here, as well as on the other side. But again, though, there is nothing on the other side of the entrance door, unfortunately. All of that is outside the map, in the dark abyss out there. Also, what were these people eating? What is that, just like a PB&J on a plate? Look at that. Freaking Uncrustable, man. Grabbing that Sentinel artifact, of course, opens more than just this entrance hall. It also opens the staircase leading down to, like, the rest of this building. So let's just go ahead and walk on down here. There are a bunch of window locations, I believe, just scattered across this bottom floor. This one right here to the right of the staircase is not very interesting. It looks a lot like other ones we've already checked out, so let's leave that one alone. But the one I really want to check out is this one. If we hop on into it, we can see there's some really cool modeling going on in here. There's a painting as well, which, yeah, doesn't this painting look a little bit familiar? And as we head back further, there is a very dark room right here, which does seem to actually have some modeling in it. So if I throw one of these, yeah, there we go. We actually get a view of it. And there's even like a mirror here on the wall. Thank you, by the way, for you guys who mentioned these Wraith Fires. That was a fantastic idea. But yeah, really cool little space, and it does connect as well to this west hallway area here, which we'll check out in a bit. But moving on from that main hall, there are two more areas that were open from grabbing that Sentinel artifact, and those are along those areas that we checked out earlier. Here in the smoking room, we now have access to the billiards room, which is just a really cool area, especially if you're like me and love the game of pool. Oh my god, the balls have physics.
Oh, that can't be good.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay, Christina, get a hold of yourself. Ghosts aren't real.
Wait, so that spawned a grenade? I literally just did this for fun. I shot in every single ball into the holes and honestly had absolutely no clue that that was an Easter egg, but apparently it is. It really shows the developers put a lot of love into this game, even though it wasn't received very well by the community. Like, that is fantastic right there. Anyways, in this billiards room, there are a couple window locations. There's one right here, which is kind of strange, actually. It extends further, like this is the roof of the building. But, I mean, it most certainly is not the roof of the building, so I'm not sure why it's shaped like this. It's kind of strange. It looks like an attic, but it's not. And for this window over here, well, it's just a little area for zombies to spawn with a coffin in it. Kind of strange. Not sure what that's doing there either. And if we go ahead and leave the billiards room, we end up in the study, which is kind of a cool little space as well, and it looks like the mystery box is here, so that's awesome. So first of all, there are two windows here, and they look a lot like other ones we have seen, so let's move on from that. But on the other side, there is this space over here that we don't normally get to. Everything here does have collision, at least for the most part. Like, we can walk on top of this table and the chairs. And if we go through this door here at the back, there is actually a little area here that we can walk on. There's also this bookshelf right here, which kind of looks like another one of those hidden room bookshelves. But if we go through it, we can see on the other side, there is some space here, but there's no hidden room, unfortunately. All right, let's hit the box. Come on, give me something good. Ooh, the Galil. Hell yeah, dude.
What's Alistair got locked away in this case? Something special about this pistol?
Now, there are a couple boring window locations scattered across the room like those two, but if we go to the back here where the trench gun is, if we go ahead and hop on outside the map here, we can see that there is a doorway, which if we hop on through, actually does lead outside to the back here, which this is just a really cool little space, and there's even this staircase that we can walk up and just head on further outside the map, although it doesn't exactly lead anywhere. There's an Easter egg thing right here. Look at that. Wait, is that one of the symbols? Is that one of the symbols for the gun thing that I just saw? Yeah, it totally is. We're one step closer, boys. Inside the library, there is also this little, balcony area, which has a window location in it right here. If we just hop on into it, kind of a cool little space with another painting on the wall and some modeling just about with an area around the corner for zombies to spawn. And of course, this hallway does lead outside to the cemetery, it seems. The cemetery path, at least. Which we'll check out soon, but we're not done with the interior of the building yet. Oh, yeah, and there is a lot of bookcases in here as well, which if we go through one of them, we can see there is indeed a hidden room here, which it's less of a room and more like a crawl space, actually. Not sure if this is part of the main Easter egg, because there is a podium here, and there isn't any hidden details that look like those other rooms we looked at. But alright, moving on from the library into the west hallway here, we're immediately met with a window location. So let's just go ahead and hop on into it. At first glance, it looks like there's a lot going on. There's a decent bit of modeling here for some couches and tables and such, and an area around the corner here for zombies to spawn next to this nightstand. And there's also a brush here just clipping straight through the wall. And past that window location, if we continue onward, there is another one, but we've already seen this one. This is the one with the painting of the woman in it. And I've been checking every single one of these bookshelves just to see if there's another hidden room in any of them, because I don't know them. So I won't know if I don't check them all, and oh man, it's getting tedious. This little area behind this one, though, looks kind of cool, actually. And there's also this, random pillar, which doesn't really seem like it needs to be here, but it definitely is. Seeing a lot of this stuff really makes me want to make my own map, so I might do that at some point. So that was the billiards room side quest, but if we go on over here to the East Gallery, we can see we now have access to the bedroom, which we did peek at through a window earlier. There's a few more window locations like these two that just lead out to another balcony here on the side, just kind of cool to see. This again just seems to overlook this area down below, which itself actually has a little hidden room right here. And if I use my Wraithfire, we can get a look at it. Not exactly sure why it's here. Maybe it spawns zombies and then they travel all the way down this pathway. But I find that highly unlikely because that pathway is pretty long. So yeah, not exactly sure. Maybe this was going to be part of the map and it just ended up never happening. I don't know. But hopping back inside this master bedroom, we do have more windows to check out, such as this one. If we hop on into it, it looks like this is a walk-in closet, I suppose, for the guy who lives here. Although it's definitely seen better days. There's not much in here that's interesting, to be honest with you, just a bunch of clothing. So let's go ahead and move on. The other window locations, though, we've already checked out from other locations in the map, so let's go ahead and go through this door, down the staircase, and to the dining room, which immediately on our right, we're met with an area that you can't normally go to, so let's just take a walk through here. There's a lot of cool modeling around, and at the back, there is this hallway, which I'm assuming is used to spawn zombies. Although it's a lot bigger than I can actually walk down. There is a barrier here that's separating me from going down this hallway, but if I do throw a Wraithfire down it, we can see there's not exactly much hiding. And on the other side of the dining room, there is another cool space here as well. If we go ahead and hop on outside the map, we can see, well, there is this extra room, which I can't get to, unfortunately. It actually has a barrier, so let's go ahead and hop on past that and walk on down this hallway, which is huge, dude. Look at this. So towards the left, it just leads to a very dark room, a big dark room, but there's not exactly much going on inside of it. But to the right, it leads to a huge area here, and wraps back around towards the east hallway. And something else that's pretty cool about this east hallway, if we go through this door at this end instead, we can see that there is a little bit of an unused space in here with some shadows as well, which is kind of strange. Makes me think that there was going to be some modeling in here. In fact, there's even some stuff right here that I have collision with that, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to want to load in. And there's a door on the other side that, of course, leads to absolutely nowhere, but really cool little area. Probably some cut content, not exactly sure. And last but not least, we have one more area inside the actual building itself to check out, and then we'll check out the other areas around the main mansion. If we go on through this door right here, it'll lead us down to the cellars, which of course has a few window locations scattered about to check out, so let's just get to it. There's this one right here, which has a whole bunch of barrels and a red symbol right here, which seems to be a W on top of an M, but there is a lot of space back here that you would normally never be able to see, and there's a ton of barrels even that I think you probably can't get much of a view of from the window. So yeah, a really cool little space to be able to walk through, but there's nothing too crazy going on back there. Next to these two windows, there is another one right here that seems to just be carved into the rock, and it leads back to a very strange area. So you'll notice right here, this looks very much so like a window location. Like zombies would spawn here around the corner, and then come on out the window right here towards playable space. But of course, this isn't playable space. And what's also really cool, if we look right here, it kind of seems like this was going to be a doorway, but if we go through, of course, to the other side, well, there's a bunch of barrels and things blocking the way, so obviously, it's not meant to be here. My guess is this is some cut content, and originally, when you came down this staircase, there was going to be a direction here to the right that you could go at least a little bit, and the developers decided at some point that they just wanted to cut that out. Not exactly sure why, because it kind of would have been cool, but really cool to see that there's some remnants of it here still. And continuing further on into the cellars here, there's some window locations on the other side to check out. This one here at the end looks a lot like the other one with a whole bunch of barrels, but shaping-wise, it's quite a bit smaller. Just an area here around the corner for zombies to spawn and come on out the window at you. And as for this one, well, it is very tiny. Just a small little space for zombies to spawn cut into the rock. And I'm sure as many of you guys know who have played this map before, if we go through this wall right here, we find ourselves a little hidden room. Which, just like the other ones, I assume is attached to some little side Easter egg. Really cool that this is here. I love that there's so many of these as well. There's like been 3 of them so far. Which is crazy to me, because all of the other maps I've ever played, there's never been hidden rooms like this for side Easter eggs, so it's amazing to see that here in Black Ops 4, and it really makes me wish that I enjoyed this game more, and those Black Ops 4 mechanics that made me hate it just weren't present. And I kinda just thought this was cool. If we no-clip up, we can actually walk on top of this entire cellar area, and it gives you a different perspective on the development of a map like this. It's so liminal down here, but oh my god, is it awesome. Okay, so as far as I understand, we have covered all of the area inside the actual main house now, so all we have left is the cemetery over there, the greenhouse area over here, and of course, the forest over here. Now, from what little I have looked up on the internet, the forest here is involved with the main Easter egg, and the ending of the game happens there. So we're gonna save that for last, and as far as the other two, well, it's kinda just a coin toss. So, hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 2.
It's 1.
Thank you, Siri. You're a very nice woman.
You're too kind.
Well, looks like we're checking out this one first, so let's go ahead and come on down to the greenhouse terrace. There is a lot to see here. So first of all, to our right and left, there's actually these like little pathways, and if we follow them, they do have collision, and they wrap around the side of the building here. It looks like this one goes all the way down to here, where I just start to fall through the map, unfortunately. But if we follow it the other way instead, well, it also goes down into here, this like very liminal space right here, which I'm assuming you can't see any of this from inside the map, so I'm not entirely sure why it's here, but really cool. And the same thing can be said about the other side. If we go ahead and no-clip on over to it, the same exact area is down here as well, that again wraps through towards absolutely nothing. And if we follow this balcony down past some ruins, it does actually lead somewhere, unlike the other one, although we just fall right through the map. But using the power of no-clip, we can see this area in detail. There is quite a bit of space back here, and all of these pathways seem to be relatively well modeled, and it leads up to this building, which has, unfortunately, nothing inside of it. Although, surprisingly, there is actually collision here, which is cool. So I can walk around here, but for some reason, I can't walk around there. It really does kind of feel like this area was originally going to be part of the map, but instead was just used for window locations, and maybe it was just scrapped because, well, people didn't receive Black Ops 4 as well as they were hoping, so they just kind of cut work on some of this. This would have also made sense for this room that we checked out earlier that seems to have absolutely no purpose. It's very close to this as well, and this area, which we're on right now, could have connected back up to it. There's a way to go forward, there's a way to go right. It really feels like there should have been a way to go left too, doesn't it? In fact, standing here, it's really strange that you can't. And as far as this building here next to that one, well, same could be said. There's nothing inside of here, and there is collision at the bottom, but the actual building itself has none. And alright, since we can't go to the left, we have two options, it seems, forward and right, although there are a couple window locations right here on next to the terrace, which are kind of cool to check out. There's this one, which just kind of serpentines through and connects as well to the greenhouse. And on the opposite side, there is a very similar one here as well, but instead of connected to the greenhouse, it actually connects to this little, like, vestibule here, which, yeah, this is actually a really cool little area itself. And there's two more of them right here, as well as here. Let's go ahead and hop on into this one. It's just a small little space behind the hedges for the zombies to spawn, but other than that, I mean, it serpentines a bit further into what feels a lot like a maze, but there's not much going on back here. Although I am assuming that this is a separate window location right here for zombies to spawn back behind the corner here and then go through to there, or zombies can spawn on the other side of this invisible barrier and then hop on through here. And as for this one, if we hop on into it, it's a lot smaller than the other ones, unfortunately, but it does lead back to a very creepy little space that you would never be able to see otherwise. But alright, that is enough for the terrace, so let's go ahead and hop straight on into the greenhouse. I think there's a few things to see in here. There are quite a few window locations here along the side, such as this one. If we hop on out, it just leads to, again, that pathway I think we've already checked out for the most part, and the collision just ends off right here. And at the back of this greenhouse, there is some area here that's out of bounds. You don't normally get to walk through, so let's just go ahead and do that. There's a lot of plants going on, obviously. I mean, this is a greenhouse after all, but there doesn't seem to be too much hidden out of bounds here. Although, oh, whoa.
Whoa, back.
So there's what looks like what would have been at least a staircase that could have gone down to a lower level here in the greenhouse, although there is absolutely nothing down here other than just a couple walls that extend further than they probably should. Yeah, there's no reason for this stuff to be down here, so it does kind of make you wonder at least that perhaps this is cut content, although it is highly likely that you were never supposed to see any of that. And this ladder? Well, here's what it would have been like to be able to climb up here. There is collision actually with the ceiling, which I suppose makes sense. You can walk around on the roof here, and it does give you some pretty cool views of the mansion. Moving on from the greenhouse, there is this pathway which goes into the gardens, and there's a couple window locations here, such as this one I want to check out because it's very eerie, and it looks like a little pathway into the forest, but it seems to just wrap around here and just go nowhere. There is a building back here, but unfortunately it seems like there's nothing going on with this building, and inside of it, of course, well, there is nothing. What I found really strange about this area is if we look further into the distance, we can see there's a couple more lamps out there, and if we go ahead and no-clip on out, we can see that is definitely the case. They're just chilling here, and it kind of feels like that pathway was meant to continue all the way through here, past, and then over towards this structure that is just out here in the distance for seemingly no reason, and we do have collision with it. Yeah, I don't know if this is more cut content or if this was just never meant to be used, but it's definitely a cool little room. And oh my god, is there a lot of space here around it. Like, you can't see back this far, so it makes me wonder whether there was more here. I guess we'll never know. Well, maybe we'll know one day. Any Treyarch devs want to come on the awesome show and come talk to me? I'm lonely. Well, if we go forward instead of to the left there is this space as well, which is kind of just a little bit liminal area between the two. As you can see, it even connects to this pathway here. There's not a lot going on, just a whole lot of vegetation, although I did notice if we go over here, there's another one of these symbols on the wall. So is that one of these symbols as well? Oh yeah, sure is. I'm gonna get you soon enough. Anyways, continuing onward, we can pass up that structure that we were in already, And we have a couple ways we can go. I suppose let's go this way first, which this just has a really cool pathway here covered with a bunch of vinage. And there is a window location here. Let's just go ahead and hop on out into it. Leads down a pathway into the very dark forest until we eventually lose collision with the ground somewhere. Yeah, right there. There we go. Although, look at this. The terrain here is a little bit strange. Man, I am loving this, dude. This is such a cool map. You know what? I just said it under my breath, but I'm going to say it again. This is such a cool map. Like, I know it's Black Ops 4. I know it's Chaos Story. I know the perks are ruined because it's not the original perks and they don't have the same feeling. And yeah, there's probably way too many boss zombies on this map that make the gameplay just feel tiresome, but the map itself is an absolute masterpiece, man. The people who are making maps at Treyarch are fantastic at it. They're so good. The art direction, the art style, all of it is just fantastic. This is a beautiful map. So yeah, I might hate Black Ops 4. I do not enjoy the gameplay, and I wish I never bought it back in the day, but as far as this goes, as an actual, like, just the map part of it, this is amazing. It makes me really wish I enjoyed this game, because they really had something going here. Continuing onward over here by the Odin perk, we have 2 window locations. Let's go ahead and hop on into this one first. It leads on out to a little vestibule here, which unfortunately we don't have collision with. But there is quite a cool little area here, and it goes and leads around towards this building, which we did check out earlier. This window location, however, does lead to a building that has something going on with it. I believe this is an area for zombies to spawn back around this corner, and they come on out at you. But this is just a super cool little room with a couch. There's not much going on in it, but it is a really cool space to walk in. And that is the gardens area, all wrapped up. I'm pretty sure we went through this as thorough as possible, and man, was there a lot of cool details. Like, I really wasn't expecting some of that. I enjoyed this part of the map a lot more than I thought I was going to, but let's go ahead and head on over to the other side. Ah, yes, this area, the cemetery. And immediately we were met with the decision to go to the right or to the left, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop right on outside the map because there is this little structure right here which looks really cool. It's almost like a crypt or something, and it leads back around here underneath this area that you walk on top of to some very liminal space. But yeah, I just love this. This is awesome. To the left right here, if we hop on past this barrier, we got ourselves a pathway, and to the left as well, there is a window location. Let's go ahead and hop on outside the map right here, and we can walk on up towards this door, which, well, okay, there's a barrier, so I guess we can't. But using no clip, we can go ahead and go through it at least and see where this would have led to. Of course, there's some space here. It's very liminal. But on the other side, well, there's a window location that leads to the study area. And continuing down this pathway, it seems to wrap up around to this little building, which might as well just hop on over this gate, though, and check it out. We can walk around this area, although, okay, we lose collision pretty quick. As far as this building itself, there isn't anything inside of it, although there is somewhat of an interior. We can walk in here, and there is textures. But yeah, there isn't exactly any modeling. But past that building, we now enter the cemetery. Most of the window locations in the area are something like this. The zombies just kind of crawl out of the ground and come on out at you. But there's other ones, such as this one right here, which I don't actually know if this is a window location, but oh my god, take a look at this. So there's a skeleton here, clearly, in like a coffin, partly opened, with a bunch of candles as well for lighting. Yeah, this area is super creepy, dude, but oh my god, is it awesome. Yeah, art team on this map, fantastic. You guys need a raise. Although I suppose it's a little bit late for that, isn't it? Over here, we got another one of these. Let's go ahead and hop on into it. I kind of expect much of the same, and it does look like that's the case. It's again a skeleton in a coffin with a couple candles about. Really cool little area. Looks pretty much identical to the other one. And if we head straight back over here, there's some more area to check out. Another one of these windows, which is exactly the same as the other two. Oh my god, when you throw that inside the coffin, though, wow, it changes the lighting of this room a lot. Like, look at that, dude. Oh, and hey, look, there's another one of those symbols. We got a blue A this time. So if I go right here and change this to the A, there we go. So all we have left is the red one. So I guess let's keep an eye out for that. But yeah, there is more to this area to check out. We might as well hop on out into the actual cemetery area There's a whole bunch of gravestones. It doesn't really seem like there's anything on them. In fact, I think some of these models was used for the Black Ops 3 remaster of Origins. Like, I remember this gravestone specifically being on that map. Again, another really cool little space, and then at the back right here, it says K. O'Neill, 1710 to 1798. But I'm realizing now there's actually a lot more of them. So, for instance, here is A. Winkleman, C. Lemkuel, B. Hauska. Yeah, I'm not going to be pronouncing these correctly at all. And let's go ahead on into this mausoleum where our Zeus perk is. Oh, and here's even more names. Oh my god. I mean, clearly these aren't developers, right? Like, some of these names are just too crazy, but maybe some of them are? You know, I wonder if you put these in order and then take all of the first initials. I wonder if that spells something. That's my first thought when I'm seeing this, and I really kind of want to do it. Perhaps we'll do that another time, but for now, let's continue with the video. If we head on down this staircase and take a right, underneath this tomb right here, there is a completely hidden area. As far as I understand from my really short look online, this is a hidden little room, which is a side Easter egg that's been solved, and it gives you access to this crypt, which is a super cool little space, but unfortunately here ahead of time, well, most of it isn't exactly loaded in. It's definitely a cool little area though, and it seems like it would have like led up into here or something, which just to show where that is, it's behind this area. And yeah, it kind of just sticks out of the ground here. And again, it really shows that the devs put in a lot of work adding all these little side Easter eggs and hidden rooms on this map. Like, this has got to be one of the most special zombies maps of all time. And unfortunately, most of us probably never played it. Or if we did, we didn't play it for very long, because Black Ops 4, not really our favorite, was it, in the zombies community? And I really wish that wasn't the case. Alright, last but not least, let's go ahead and exit this atrium and into the Forrest Terrace. We've already checked out these two pathways to the left and right, so all that is left is the forest itself. So let's go ahead, hop on into here. Although I suppose most of the window locations are probably not too interesting here. They're most likely just little pockets, right? Like, for instance, I'm assuming this right here is a window location. If I go ahead and hop on out of it, there isn't much going on back here. Just a little area, I suppose, probably for zombies to spawn somewhere, and then just hop on out of the map. Although, hey, we do actually have a lot of collision back here, which is kind of cool. And if we check out the other side, the same can be said. There's a bunch of space here, which we do have collision with, although I'm assuming it's going to drop off, and there it goes. But yeah, still a really cool little area just to be able to walk around here in this forest. It looks very desolate, and standing here, it kind of reminds me of the Black Ops 3 loading screen. Like the one where you're in that bluish forest with zombies just walking around you. There's just something about this that really gives that vibe. As far as I understand, I believe this area right here at the back is where the Pack-a-Punch machine normally is. And as far as I can tell, it's not here ahead of time, unfortunately. There's just a bunch of rocks here under the ground, but there seems to be no remnants of the Pack-a-Punch. Although, interestingly enough, behind the Pack-a-Punch, there is this random cube right here that has absolutely nothing inside of it, but it does have collision. I can walk on it, and inside, well, it's just one big barrier. As you can see, it just pops me out every single time I try and end no clip inside. There's definitely no modeling, there's no textures on the interior, so as to what that is, I got no clue. And if we head on over to this right here, we'll see something quite interesting. So as far as I understand, this door right here is what you open up at the very end of the Easter egg, and it teleports you to the boss fight arena. And what's kind of interesting about this, if we go on through it, well, there is an actual hallway here, although if we throw a ray fire, well, we can see there's not a ton going on. It just kind of ends here with nothing at the end. Of course, you're not meant to walk through here in the current version of Dead of the Night, but it does make me wonder whether they were originally going to have the boss fight arena something that you could physically walk to, like it is, for instance, in Zetsubo. But instead, it seems they closed off this walkway, and the boss fight arena, of course, is not here. It's way outside the map, and we've checked it out at the very beginning. Not sure if this was just like some kind of design change of the actual boss fight arena itself, so they felt like it didn't really make much sense. Or perhaps they just ran out of space and decided that it wasn't going to be something they could do, so they teleported you there instead. Not exactly sure. And alright, we're back inside the map by this gun case thing, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I lied to you. So I forgot completely about the cellar while I was recording this video, and in fact, I just recorded that section right now, here at the end. And because of that, I didn't find this red M until the very end, even though, chronologically in the video, I found it way before. I don't know if you guys caught that, but now I can input this red M into the gun, which one is it? It's the M and the M and the W, that one right there. I mean, it seems like it still hasn't done anything, though. It might be because I don't have the area unlocked, so let me just get some points here so I can open the door. Yeah, so let me go ahead and buy the door. That should turn interaction on in the room if it wasn't already. It doesn't seem like this does anything, though, does it? So, yeah, not exactly sure what I did wrong here, but let me know down in the comment section below. And while you're at it, why don't you leave a comment saying that the M is a lie? That'll let me know that you made it this far in the video, and you're an absolute legend for doing so. Genuinely, thank you so much for all of your time. It means a lot to me that you enjoy this content. But without further ado, that is Dead of the Night, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like down below. Helps me out a ton. And of course, make sure you're subscribed so you can come back for more. There is so much more to see, so many more zombies maps, campaign missions, and other things we can do with the series outside. If you want to watch more of my content, you can click one of the videos on the screen right now, but if not, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay awesome, and peace out.